One of the things that cause stress and strain in human social life is that it is possible up to a point to become aware of rational grounds for a behavior not prompted by natural instinct. But when such behavior strains natural instinct too severely, nature takes her revenge by producing either listlessness or destructiveness, either of which may cause a structure imposed by reason to break down. Social cohesion, which started with loyalty to a group reinforced by the fear of enemies, grew by processes partly natural and partly deliberate, until it reached the vast conglomerations that we now know as nations. To these processes, various forces contributed. At a very early stage, loyalty to a group must have been reinforced by loyalty to a leader. In a large tribe, the chief or king may be known to everybody, even when private individuals are often strangers to each other. In this way, personal as opposed to tribal loyalty makes possible an increase in the size of the group without doing violence to instinct. At a certain stage, a further development took place. Wars, which originally were wars of extermination, gradually became, at least in part, wars of conquest. The vanquished, instead of being put to death, were made slaves and compelled to labor for their conquerors. When this happened, there came to be two sorts of people within a community, namely the original members who alone were free and were the repositories of the tribal spirit, and the subjects who obeyed from fear and not from instinctive loyalty. Nineveh and Babylon ruled over vast territories, not because their subjects had any instinctive sense of social cohesion with the dominant city, but solely because of the terror inspired by its prowess in war. From those early days down to modern times, war has been the chief engine in enlarging the size of communities, and fear has increasingly replaced tribal solidarity as a source of social cohesion.
If it is correct, as I believe it is, that a fundamental element of human nature is the need for creative work, for creative inquiry, for free creation without the arbitrary limiting effects of coercive institutions, then of course it will follow that a decent society should maximize the possibilities for this fundamental human characteristic to be realized. That means trying to overcome the elements of repression and oppression and destruction and coercion that exist in any existing society, ours for example, as a historical residue. Now, a federated, decentralized system of free associations incorporating economic as well as social institutions would be what I refer to as anarcho-syndicalism, and it seems to me that it is the appropriate form of social organization for an advanced technological society in which human beings do not have to be forced into the position of tools, of cogs in a machine, in which the creative urge, that I think is intrinsic to human nature, will in fact be able to realize itself in whatever way it will. I don't know all the ways in which it will.